Hi, I'm Vickie with My Fine Equine, and I'm here to just talk a little bit about insulin resistance. And this horse here is General. He's 25 years old, and he's purebred Arabian. There's a lot of breeds that are more prone to insulin resistance. Can be any time, any age that they are. And especially as horses get older, just like people, they can become insulin resistant as well. So what you feed them, you do need to be really careful. Alfalfa is typically not the best food for horses, and especially not straight alfalfa. Half grass, half alfalfa is typically okay for a lot of horses. It was okay for our horses for a lot of years. And then all of a sudden, this horse here was 17, and I had two other mares that we no longer have, who have passed on. In 15 and 16-year-old, they were purebred Arabians, and they were full sisters as well. But usually at the end of the season, before the new hay season started, my hay grower would give me 1 or 2 months of straight alfalfa, and over the years it finally caught up with us. These horses were in their mid-teens, and we had 3 founder issues out of 10 horses that we were feeding. And so I just want to, this is one of them. He actually foundered the least severe. He never had to have bute or anything like that, and I really don't recommend bute, but sometimes it's necessary. The signs on this horse, he was pretty chunky. He's no longer chunky, and this was back in 2005. He was really kind of big all over. His butt was big, everything was big. And then we noticed and had our vet out that he had edema. He had edema issues under here on both sides of his belly. And the other big thing was his sheath was actually huge. It was like this. I could put my hand under there. It was the size of a football. And I never did take any still pictures of the whole thing. I do have a picture showing him as a chunky horse, and you could actually see part of his sheath down there, but it was huge, heavy. I could touch it, and it didn't hurt him, but it was just heavy, and it was all of this edema. We did have our vet out. She found a bean inside there, which was not the cause. She said she had another friend that had a gelding that had that issue, and they gave him steroids. I didn't want to give steroids. And she said put out an extra salt block, and well, we already had a salt block out, so that was obviously not the issue. And through our founder, we learned about insulin resistance, how to feed low carb, lower protein, washed and rinsed and soaked grass hay, pouring out the sugar out of it. The darker, blacker it is, the more sugar that's actually in that hay. They were all efforts to get the founder and laminitis issues to stop. And you could actually feel on the front here, the cornet band, his feet would be really hot. You could feel back here on his heel, and you could feel a pulse when they're having that issue. And frankly, it takes anywhere from 9 to 12 weeks to really stop a laminitic attack like that from happening. And then as you're feeding them, you want to make sure once you get it stopped that it stays stopped. And putting them back on pasture at all is high risk. You could lose your horse and not be able to ride them anymore. Have to put special shoes on them just to keep them from being in pain, things like that. So my approach was nutritional. We do have a supplement with the company that I use, ABC Cushing's supplement. Is got cinnamon and chromium and magnesium and some things like that that are known to help with those kind of hormone issues. So as you can see, it's 2012, and General here at 25 years old is doing really great. We do keep his speed a little bit longer because he does better with that. Barefoot trim, still no shoes, and he can trot around and be ridden and does great. So the typical signs you'll see are up here, and I'll show you a little mare that we have, but typically they will get a cresty neck. They will store fat up here, they will store fat here in a little pouch, and big butt, you know, they call them easy keepers. And you have a horse, if you have an easy keeper horse, you do have a horse that is at risk for developing insulin resistance, and I believe you can prevent it if you will feed low carb, low protein, and really watch their weight and watch their pasture time. If you do let them out on the pasture, which this horse I won't anymore, but we do have others, and they're allowed only one meal a day, and then their second meal of the day. So, okay, I will show you a couple of mares that we have that are half sisters, and one of them is a horse that we watch very carefully to make sure that she doesn't ever have an episode. So, this is the end of part 1.